Good Sunday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for the upcoming weekly period. On our impact maps, we have quite a bit. We start with a continuation of hot and dry weather in this tannish shade on Sunday, which will continue on Monday with above normal to near record temperatures in some areas, but also the threat of thunderstorms developing across parts of northern Nevada into a good portion of western Idaho on Monday. Thunderstorms become a bit more greater in coverage on Tuesday across the same area, sliding into northwestern Utah, into eastern Idaho, also into parts of the Sierra front. So a rather active week shaping up. Not much lightning activity in the past 24 hours, just a scattering up in the Uinta range. Otherwise, we were pretty dry. As a result, we had fairly light initial attack. Precipitation on the left over the past 7 days, fairly light overall, a little bit heavier across southern areas of Utah. Otherwise, not much in the way of wetting rains. We're missing some data beyond that into the 30-day period. And we look at the ERC conditions, and while they've modified quite a bit across our southern central areas, you see the upward arrows indicate that they are climbing now through Nevada, seeing some areas in the orange and red to the 70th to maybe up to the 90th percentile. Our most critical areas, ERC-wise, remain up in the mountains of central Idaho. We also look at the finer fuels, and our concerns here pretty wide across all areas. The past week has been dry and warm, so a lot of the grasses, finer fuels, and a lot of these areas that shaded in red are now at critical levels. Here's a look at our satellite imagery. Under the high pressure dominating us with hot, dry conditions, we do have some moisture trapped here across parts of Nevada. This moisture will start flaring up and causing some isolated thunderstorms today, which could become wider spread in coverage as we go through the next couple of days. And otherwise, we continue to stay under the dominance of high pressure, hot and dry weather. So here we look at the weather map for today. High pressure centered firmly in control across the Great Basin. Some of this dry air here across our northern areas. So we do have high risk for unseasonably hot, dry conditions for many areas here where you see the orange. So just based on that, fuels are dry enough to burn. We will have some isolated thunderstorms across a few pockets of northern Nevada and into parts of southern and southeast Utah. Stuff in Utah down towards the Arizona Strip, the fuels are still fairly moist. We'll have to watch some of this area up here in Nevada. Now on Monday, despite being under high pressure, there's gradually a little tap of more moisture coming up. See this blip of green up here in Nevada pushing into Idaho. We do have high risk for scattered thunderstorms across parts of northeastern Nevada into parts of western Idaho, in addition to the hot and dry weather which continues. Weather-wise for Monday afternoon, you see the precipitation expands in coverage across those areas of Nevada and parts of Idaho, so that's our big concern. Winds overall fairly light, except some stronger outflow boundaries in the vicinity of any storms. Now on Tuesday, the high pressure kind of weakens a bit. There's more moisture gradually being pulled into the system, and we think that there'll be a fairly widespread coverage of high base thunderstorms. They'll be slow moving, so some areas will get some rain. We'll look at it through here. You can see the coverage here across northeastern Nevada. Some of it may start to wet down for a while. A sliver here across the Sierra front. So actually, if we go back to this page, we also added high risk here across the Sierra front as well. Precipitation over the next 3 days on the large scale, not too much, just a few scatterings here and there. So a lot of the lightning could be on the drier side. Over 20 inches of rain in the 3-day period with the remnants of Harvey. And going down the road, as we go into Wednesday, thunderstorm coverage expands in area again across northern Nevada and into Idaho. At that point, fuels may be moistening up enough where we'll have a mix of wet and dry, but we'll see how that plays out. And then going down the road towards Thursday, still some lingering moisture in our eastern areas, drying out across the west. Going into Friday, high pressure reestablishes itself, getting hotter and drier. This tannish color is indicate drier, hotter air, and by Saturday, strong high pressure again in place, temperatures above normal, our fuels start to dry out once again. Precipitation over the 7-day period, not much different from the first 3 days. And then the long range 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from September 3rd to the 9th, much above normal temperatures across a good portion of the Great Basin, especially the further west and north you go. Some monsoon moisture down south, but staying dry up in the north. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.